Hello guys, and welcome to the Grand Tour game. Season 3 is officially out to watch. I recommend highly watching it first. All you need is Amazon Prime. I use Prime. This is not sponsored, by the way. I use Prime all the time. I highly recommend it. And you get to watch the Grand Tour, of course, as well. Yes, episode 1 is out. Each episode will be a content update, basically. So we get scenes through every episode of Season 3. So that's pretty cool. So the game updated this morning, and I can now play Season 3, Episode 1. Yes! Can't wait. So this was all about Detroit, muscle cars, and the Senna. Bit of a spoiler there, but you should be watching it first. Watch the episode first, and then come and watch this. Anyway, let's begin, and let's go. Also, a slight sorry about my voice. It's a little bit nasally. I've got a cold. I apologise. There we go. We keep going. Amazon Prime Video.
Everybody, thank you. Thank you so much. And yes, we're back. We are. Now, a lot of people have been saying, why has it taken so long? What have you been doing? Well, hopefully, we can answer that with this short montage of what you can expect over the next 13 weeks.
Is that barrel gonna...
Fire everywhere!
Ah! He's gone! Look! Hang on a minute!
The nearest civilization is a town called Moron. In order to reach it, you must build the contents of these boxes. You have enough food for 7 days.
Oh, God!
Were this not such a serious situation, it would be a good laugh.
There must have been 30 or 40 people in the room when the police arrived. Whoa! Clarkson! Jesus Christ, no, I'm too close to the edge. Let's sing a song. No.
I am sitting where Jim Clark sat.
Going in hard and hard. We're fleeing!
Okay, flee.
Well, they'll be using a pistol, won't he?
I think you're going to like this series, and I particularly think you're going to like how it begins, because even over here on this side of the pond, we recognise that Detroit is the spiritual home to anyone whose communion wine is petrol and whose heart beats like a big, lumpy, wet V8. Which is why this week, and it's long overdue, the Grand Tour is off to the Motor City with an idea. Of course, the whole world knows that Detroit is now a shadow of its former self. But we also know that efforts are being made to bring life back to the ruins, with urban farms. Local people are being encouraged to grow kale and beans and seeds in plots like this where houses and businesses once stood. It breaks your heart. I mean, this is Detroit. It shouldn't be a help-yourself pop-up street allotment for organic vegan peace hippies, when it could be a pulsating playground for the petrol head. It has the roads. It has the space. It was built by the rumble of a V8, and it should rumble to that sound once more. So that's what we've come here to do. Make some noise. These are the toys we'll be using. 3 American muscle cars, all of which have been tuned to a tire-shredding DEFCON 1. I have the Ford Mustang RTR Spec 3. Mr. Slowly has what's called the Exorcist. And in his whining Dodge Challenger Demon, Hammond has an erection.
It's now time for us to drive this absolute demon. Literally, it is an actual demon.
To make this, they took a Hellcat, I drove one before on the show, and just made it more of everything.
Oh my god, this car is incredible. It's got a very unique sound, isn't it? To be honest, if I was going to buy a muscle car, it would have to be the Mustang. I've just got such a weakness for those Mustangs.
Oh yeah.
Oh, slight little grace there. It's all good. It's all good. Can we get a gold on our first attempt? I mean, that's the plan. Uh-oh.
Oh my god.
Exactly, Hammond. Oh my god. I actually really enjoyed the first episode. I just watched it this morning. It was about an hour and 10 minutes. I mean, I always love muscle cars. I love hearing about muscle cars. I love the piece on the McLaren Senna, which might be coming up in the game, I don't know. How are we doing for time? We are good. Nice.
Hellfire. This car is tuned by Hennessy. They've taken a standard Camaro and they've given it 1,000 horsepower.
Right, let's call some fizz. some James May fizz in this 1,000
They haven't touched anything
horsepower
else, only the engine.
car.
Wheels are standard, brakes are standard, suspension is standard, bodywork is standard. It's all standard except the power.
It's all about the power. Uh-oh. Oh, I was going to keep that building. Just down the road. Oh, bronze. As long as you stay on the road, don't hear anything, the fizz will constantly, hopefully, go up. Oh, yeah, cool. Speed up a little bit. That 3. I think it's hard to get 5, but I'm going to give it a go. Slam the brakes on there. Come on. Go for 4. I need 4 very, very soon. Come on. Throw too much. 20% of this race to go. Stay on the road. Come on. Be very, very close. Got it.
It's idiotic.
Whew, that was hard.
honestly.
That was tough.
And
16
yet, though I walk in
scenes.
the shadow of the valley of death, I will fear no evil. Because I am the exorcist.
Must be time for the Ford Mustang, surely.
This may look small and delicate compared to the other two, but be in no doubt, it has the muscle car credentials. Oh yeah.
It's time to do some drifting, I guess. Burn some rubber. Yep. This might be a little bit tricky.
Is that the engine in Hammond's car is a push-rod, 2-valve iron museum piece. And May's car, because it has 1,000 horsepower, but it's running on standard brakes.
Standard brakes.
This is just a little bit cleverer. I haven't just put a supercharger on it and left it at that. They've stiffened up the suspension and lowered it and stiffened the anti-roll bars. So, it can do this.
Hey, when it cancels it, it would go off-road just a tiny bit. Just a tiny little portion. A little bit annoying. This all cancels the drift. Ah, how we doing? So we're about halfway, and I got about half the points for a gold. Really, absolutely nail this last lap. There. Can do little drifts on the road on the way to the corners, but obviously lose a little bit of pace. I like it. Please don't lose that. Thank you. I might get a goal for this. Have we done it?
That was extremely
Yes.
good.
Oh, I'm pleased with that. I am very pleased with that. Another gold in the bag. Woo!
This then is the Anthony Joshua of muscle cars. Big and brawny, but it has brains as well. Then there's its name. It's the RTR, which stands for, and I'm not making this up, ready to rock.
Chaps, did you know mine only comes with 1 seat as standard?
Really?
What?
As standard, you get 1 seat in a Demon. You can opt to have the others put back in, and it costs you $1.
Which seat do they put in as standard?
Eventually, we decided to pull over in our motoring theme park to see which of our fairground muscle rides would be the fastest in a street drag race. So, what I'm thinking is, here, when the lights go green, down, what's a quarter of a mile? Just beyond the church?
Yeah, something like that.
Perfect.
What if the police come?
Well, he won't. He's in Beverly Hills. I've seen the movie.
Why can't we just do this on a racetrack or a runway like we usually do?
Because we're here to prove that this is a racetrack.
Detroit is empty now and should just be used for this sort of thing.
Yes, but it isn't a real race. It isn't an actual race.
No, it is.
Isn't it?
This is
It
where the
gives me a
muscle
problem.
car was born.
I can't
It's a
do
ra-
it.
Why can't you do it?
Because Dodge only lent me that car if I promised not to do any drag racing on the road with it.
What?
But it is,
That's what it's for.
I know.
it's literally what it's for.
Yes, I know, but that's the way it is. I'm sorry.
Do you think it's an insurance?
It is. It's because it's
No,
him.
it's
because
not.
You don't want it on the roof.
Who's driving it? Richard Hammond.
You
Right,
can't drive it.
It's just what they said, and I'm really sorry, so we can't do it. I'm sorry.
We can.
We're not going to do it without that.
Let me think. Yeah, we are. Just
Really
right the way. Right the way.
One for all and all for yourselves. That's how
Yep.
it goes, isn't it?
He looks absolutely gutted. So would I be. I would want to drag that car.
Aircon is off.
Who first? Oh yeah. In Detroit, on the streets.
3, 2, 1. I don't want to sound like you, but the launch control in this car is so complicated. There's a YouTube video about it, and I have watched it, but I've forgotten.
Oh, we've got a turn. No, we haven't. Whew. The barber's shop
Finally, I
door.
waved the white flag. And then we took a closer look at the savage beating heart of the Exorcist. And that's a standard Corvette engine, basically,
Z06, yep.
with a supercharger plonked on the top. That's there, yes?
Yes,
Yeah.
2.9 litre supercharger.
So the bit they've bolted to your engine is bigger than most European engines.
Yes.
So's the one on mine. It's 2.7 litres.
Yeah, not as big. The point is, Hammond, this is the Exorcist. The job of the Exorcist is to vanquish the demon.
It's like, you remember in the 60s, I think Di Tommaso made a car called the Mangusta, which is Italian for mongoose.
Yes, and a mongoose can kill a cobra, can't it?
That's why they did it.
Yes, but this hasn't vanquished the demon. It hasn't beaten it.
Tell you what, why don't you find a racetrack or a runway somewhere, okay? I'll gracefully bow out, and we can have a race between good and evil. First, though, we decided to find out which of our cars makes the loudest noise. There were, of course, many possible locations for this important test. But eventually, we found one that was absolutely ideal.
Since the owners feared the noise from our engines would bring down the crumbling roof, we were given protective clothing.
We've got to put this on because there may be dust. There will be dust.
Traction off. I'll just make wheel spin. Wheel spin, that just makes a huge amount of noise. Are you ready?
Yes.
Go.
What? Oh, this is cool. Oh! So I have to do as much sound as possible. I believe he gets like 126 in the episode. Done it. This is quite cool though. Bit of a weird angle, but it's quite fun. Drifty, baby. I can make images. That is as loud as you're going to get. Quiet as a train wreck. It's loud. It's very loud.
God, that's pretty horrible.
How loud?
Well, at its peak,
Yep.
125.2. Oh, wait a minute. You don't know. You're the first to go.
125?
Yes.
The Who, widely regarded to be the loudest rock band of all time.
Yes.
126 decibels. Deep Purple, a mere 117 decibels. That car is louder than Deep Purple.
But probably a lot quieter than my demon.
Any minute now, paramedic will be cutting his trousers off.
You should have taken them off before he got in.
Joe, I don't know why he wears trousers.
Here we go, ready in 3, 2. Oh, wait a minute, it hasn't done it.
Sort of need a key.
Easy mistake. We've all done it, forgotten the key when you're donutting in a Detroit theatre that's been turned into a multi-storey car park. Everybody's been there.
Okay, in 3, 2...
Go!
Right, what's this one? 118 decibels. Again, that's the same, I believe, as the episode. There we go. It's a different sounding car. It's not quite as loud as the Mustang. Oh, that was close. Done it. Woo! It's actually quite fun. It handles really. Oh, what? What did I hit? I don't know. I think I might have hit an invisible barrier. It's actually quite fun indeed. Woo! Can't hear you, mate. So I've already got a gold, so I'm just having a bit of fun. Done.
125.2 to beat.
Yeah.
Doesn't make a lot of noise.
118.8 tiptoe boy.
2.7 litre capacity supercharger on it. It's
Yeah, but it doesn't make
well, they
any
didn't
noise.
build it for this. They built it for drag racing, and they wouldn't let me
Oh,
do
did
that.
they?
So,
Did they?
How do we
they-
know?
Well, they did.
Before this sore point became even sorer, I sent James off to have a go.
Don't think he's ever done a donut
No.
in his life.
No.
We are about to witness James D. May losing his virginity.
Popping his donut cherry.
James May, are you ready? Fire it up in 3. It took him a little while, but eventually he got the hang of it.
That sounds loud. Yeah, so James May has never done a donut before until this episode. So, there's a very small donut. Keep that just going. Ooh, got a goal. There we go. It's probably the hardest one to get.
Rubbish.
Oh, I am terrible. So we've got to go. That's the main objective. Get the goals. This is fun. Such a loud car. The car is lunacy. I would never recommend buying it, but it's crazy. It's just crazy.
Why don't we just go? Come on, James, we've got to go.
Yep, moving on.
What was that?
Oh, I've wiped it.
No, you haven't.
It was 12.
Come on, what was... Why have I got this on my face? What was
It was
it?
128, so just 2.8 more than me.
So more.
Yes.
Hold that.
Why?
Please just hold that.
Oh, I hate the victory dance. I hate the victory dance.
Good, right, let's
How much
move on.
is your car? How much?
98, something like that.
£98,000.
Yes.
40,000.
Yeah, but mine's better, so it's more expensive.
40,000.
Faster and louder.
720 horsepower, £40,000.
Am I the only person here who understands muscle cars?
That's a ridiculous thing to say.
You asked for it. You asked for it.
You never got the burgers either.
No, you didn't. We shall pick that up later on.
You may remember in the very first show of the Grand Tour in the first season, I was blown away by McLaren P1.
Yeah, I do remember. You said it would be faster than the Porsche 918 and the Ferrari, And, no, wait a minute. It wasn't, was it? And as a result, the only thing that got blown away was your house.
Yes, that's undoubtedly true.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it remains to this day the most exciting, most brutal, most visceral car I've ever driven. And I didn't think it could ever be top. But McLaren have given it a bash. And I thought, well, if they've built a car that can out P1 a P1, I'd better test it somewhere a bit less narrow and a bit less tree-lined and a bit less covered in deers and badgers than the Eboladrome. So I took it to the fastest racetrack in Europe, which is... Actually, anyone want to guess which it is? No, not Monza. Not Spa.
Do you know?
What?
Do you know?
Thruxton.
Boys.
Thruxton is the fastest racetrack in Europe. So that's where I took the new McLaren.
Hello, fellow driving enthusiasts. James here. Owing to the unique way we make video games, we are sadly unable to have the McLaren Senna in this episode for now. Apologies for that. As a sort of consolation prize, we're going to go back and look at Hammond driving the equally fantastic McLaren 720S from Season 2. It's a cracker, apart from the Hammond bit.
What the? What? I'm blaming
While the
Forza for that.
outgoing car may have been great to drive, it was never what you'd call beautiful or even very exciting to look at. But its replacement, well, that's a different matter. It's called the 720S, and from any angle and in every detail, it's simply sensational. Right down to the engine bay that glows red when you unlock the doors. Yep, on the head turnometer, this thing definitely matches the Ferrari 488 and the Lamborghini Huracan. And then when we move on to the business of speed and power, it actually beats them.
I'm blaming you, Forza, for this. I want to drive the Senna. I want to drive the Senna. I hate you, Forza. It's either that or it's the track.
Oh my God!
Whoops. Yeah, it's either the track or the Senna. I'm guessing it's the Senna. Oh, for fuck's sake. I want to drive the Senna. Why? Damn you, Forza! It's got to be Forza. It's got to be Xbox. It's their fault. So frustrating. So frustrating. See, well, that was the track, but I'd imagine it's the car. Already got exclusive rights to Forza. Right. Accelerate. Don't have long left. There's a slight lift there that could screw me up. We did it.
0
Go.
to 60 takes just 2.8 seconds. Top speed is 212 miles an hour. Both those numbers walloping the efforts of the Italians. Everything is bigger in this car. Even the price, £208,000. Oh wait, that's not a good point, is it? No, that's a... never mind, whatever. The horsepower is... well, it's ridiculous is what it is. This 4-litre V8 with its twin turbos produces 710 of them. To put that into context, the actual mechanical engine in a McLaren P1 without all the hybrid battery boost produces just 17 horsepower more. Net result of that is... staggering!
This car's great, but it's not a Senna, is it? It's just not a Senna. It's just not. It's just not. So frustrating. Screw you, Xbox. Man, I slowed down so much there. Drift. Damn it. Too much steering lock. It got sort of stuck. Could not adjust. This does not feel like a great lap. Might have time for another one. That's it. Not too bad. Got about 10 seconds left. Did we do it? Got a gold. So we have to do one more lap, is that right? I mean, I would like to just go on to the next bit, but okay. Guess we can practice, we can hone our skills. I think it's my driving line there. I need to improve my driving line a bit. Probably help me out a little bit. This time I did not hit a wall. Some of these corners are really tricky to nail. Like there's always such a fine line between going a little bit too quick. Close to the house. Do not want to hit the old lady's house. I say this lap probably started out better, but towards the end it sort of fell apart. It might still be in a gold, but probably not a better one. Not a better time, sorry. Ooh. Ouch, okay, it's not going well. First lap was probably my best. Wow! This car's so good. It's a gorgeous looking car as well, don't get me wrong, but it's just not... Like the centre is built for being on the track. That's why I want to drive it in the game. That's all I ask. If you guys happen to get this episode, happen to get the game, let me know what time you get. What I get? You know, still did not beat my first lap. There you go. Got a goal in the bag. That was only C9. Oof.
However, although they've gone nuts with the styling and the engine, the 720 is still very much a McLaren.
By that, I mean it's been made by the ultimate tech nerds from the kingdom of geeks. Let me put it this way. This is, like I say, the replacement for the McLaren 650S. And if you ask a McLaren technician, so how much of this car is new then? They will tell you 91%. Not nearly all of it, mate, or about 90%. 91%. James May applied for a job at McLaren, but they turned him down for being too slapdash.
And this incredible geekery has paid dividends. For example, one of the reasons the 720 looks so pretty is because it's the only mid-engine supercar without massive gaping intakes behind the doors. Instead, McLaren created subtle channels along the bodywork to feed air into the engine bay.
More nerd stuff. The old car, the 650, had a carbon fibre tub that came up to here. On the 720, all of that down the centre, everything is carbon fibre. That means these carbon windscreen pillars can be very thin, which makes it easier to see out, and it's light. Overall, they've lost about 18 kilograms up here. That means the centre of gravity is lower, which is good. God, it's the grip! It's staggering! It feels like a four-wheel drive. But if you do want things to get a little more nary, simply dive into the computers and activate variable drift control. It lets you select the angle of dangle through your drift by varying the amount of traction control. I think we'll go for all of it. Lots of drift available.
I'm done with this car now. Can we move on? Apparently not. I would say it's a track where I would feel comfortable drifting, to be honest. Okay, we'll give it a go. I might struggle to get a gold here, actually.
Watch this.
Not too bad. I like that. It's a good corner to drift on. Not too bad. Just hit halfway. Nice. I literally just stamped the handbrake there. Seemed to work quite well.
Gotta keep the pressure on.
Oh no. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, that was really big, Seb. Couple of corners there. And I screwed it up. I think we might just have it. Woo!
And when you finished your slide,
10 golds. Yes.
you can switch back to comfort mode and settle down for a relaxing cruise. That's the thing that stands out about this car. It's everything in one. You want speed, you get speed. You want comfort, you get comfort. You want to lose tyre rubber, help yourself. You want boot space, there's plenty. But the thing I keep coming back to is those looks. Because at last, McLaren's technical perfection has been clothed in a way that does justice to the fizzing brilliance underneath. God, I'm falling in love a bit here. Actually, no, I'll go further. I'm in love. This is utterly brilliant.
We must now get back to our film.
Yes.
Earlier on, we decided that Detroit should be a big sort of petrol head theme park. So we went over there with 3 tuned muscle cars.
Yep, and so far we've staged a drag race, done some donuts, and Jeremy has driven over some vegetables.
And then the next day, we decided that what Detroit really needs is a racetrack.
Yeah, even though it already has 2.
Yes, but we wanted something more earthy. So we headed for the city centre. Having returned to the rundown suburbs, we eventually found the perfect place to build a racetrack. Cadillac's old Connor Avenue factory. For over 60 years, they stamped out the body panels here for icons like the Eldorado, the Fleetwood, and the Coupe de Ville. If it were up to James, this creaking monument to the Motor City's decline would be turned into a shrubbery. But it wasn't up to James. So it would become a Monte Carlo-style tunnel feature on our Detroit-themed racetrack. Because building the track involved heavy machinery and manual labour, Hammond insisted on doing everything himself.
That is going to be a fast corner.
Despite this, though, he soon had everything ready. Because the track had been built by the world's most accident-prone driver, we thought it best that the God-fearing exorcist should christen it.
I'm not gonna lie, I just tried this and it is hard. It's just, it doesn't quite suit the physics in the game. It's done a bit better already though. So when you hit the handbrake, it's like, can you stop sliding? No, okay, fine. Oh, what was that? Slightly tap the handbrake, slam straight into the wall. Go straight, there we go. Might actually find someone over. I apologise. What'd I get? Ah, really?
James couldn't wait to give Hammond some constructive feedback.
I just want to say, Hammond, you witless dishcloth. That is the worst racetrack I've ever been round. It's slippery, it's full of holes, it's full of obstacles for you to crash into, it's narrow.
It's challenging, is it? Technical.
It's not challenging, it's only about that much bigger than the car, and it's made of butter. And it appears to be full of asbestos waste. Oh, it is full of asbestos?
Yeah, I'm sorry about
Oh, well,
that.
thank you.
Sorry, close your window.
All of us then set about our practice laps on Hammond's death trap. However, these were just unofficial practice laps. Now it was time for the one-shot winner-takes-all real thing.
In 3, 2, 1, begin!
Go again with the same car? And the time is now, is that a lot less than before? Oh my Lord. Come on. Line grip. It's a bit wet in here, which is fine. Right, try not to bash into this all this time. There we go, this is better. Why did you turn? I was turning for ages. The end of this lap was gone. Absolutely not well. Got a silver, I think. I'm gonna have a lap. Damn it! Why don't you tell me this stuff? I knew I had multiple laps, wouldn't have just screwed up the start. Cars get all the power. No handling at all. It is as stiff as a post. So stiff. Come on.
It is.
Got gold! Yay!
Yes.
That's annoying because then I should have got a gold for the last. Oh well. I got a gold, I'm fine. That was actually quite a good lap. Didn't I screwed up the start of it? Shouldn't that give me a gold for the last event as well? Because clearly I've improved. So wait for the timer to give up. I've got my gold. I'm happy. Yeah, it's actually a pretty good time. Bit of a glitch over there. Those tyres. Yeah, we're just gonna wait it out and begin the next scene.
Pooed myself.
I proved myself.
The trouser accident had clearly been worth it. I'm happy with that, and I haven't hit any famous musicians or bits of old car factory.
Next, it was the turn of Corporal Crash.
Where's the fire engine gone? I saw
Fire
it
engine's
earlier.
over there. The ambulance is
Oh, we're all comedians today.
there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Remember, if you lose to James May,
It's more humiliating. It's worse than death.
Yep, worse than
3,
death.
2, 1.
It's a horrible, horrible experience. 35 seconds. I've not driven this car yet around this track. This should be interesting. It just feels so big on this track, doesn't it? It's like a big fat square box.
My own car doesn't fit around my own racetrack.
Exactly.
What have I done? Come on.
What have you done? I don't think it's like a 100% recreation of the episode's track, but it's pretty good. Pretty much there.
Come on, come on, come on.
Got a gold. Well, I'm going to sit out the rest of the time. I don't need to improve my time. I've got a gold. I'm happy.
That felt good. It felt like a quick one.
I don't know how to put this to you, but
No.
0.4 of a second slower than James May.
This is what death feels like.
Yep, okay, get out of the demon. We've done the demon and the exorcist. It's time for the blue nun.
Blue nut.
Yeah.
God, that is beautiful. Oh,
Totally pointless waste of time then. We've established the Mustang is the fastest by an enormous margin. But I'll go and do it, I suppose.
Jeremy Smug in My Little Pony, are you ready? 10, 3, 2, 1.
let's go. Yeah, so in the episode, something does happen at the end of his fastest lap. Yeah, let's just say James May gets involved. That's going to happen on this lap. I have no idea.
It is quite scary through here. Roaring off.
It's incredibly scary. 23 seconds.
It's tricky.
Keep going. Got a gold.
Very good news.
Woo! What a good looking car though. Oh, I love it. So we're gonna sit back now and let the timer roll.
Oh my word.
You're running.
I know, but you'll see. I've got to get down to this corner before he gets back. Help me tip this over.
What is it?
It's organic palm oil, very slippery. It's the revenge of the urban farmer.
into the blind bend. There is Stevie Wonder.
You do know it's palm oil that's ruining life for the world's orangutans.
Only this one.
Come on, come on. Short shifting into third.
And on that terrible disappointment...
For him.
It's back to the tent.
You? I thought it had been you.
Oh, no.
You ruined my lap.
You said Detroit had to be a playground, and that's what I was doing. I was playing.
Listen, can my practice time stand? Because that was still the quickest.
That's not how it works. You can't just say that because you were the quickest in qualifying, you would have won the race if you hadn't crashed.
Well, I can say it.
Well, you can say it. I could say I'm the captain of the English cricket team. I wouldn't be any good at it.
Well, moving on.
I know where he was going with that. Anyway, look, in part one of that film, we said that we would have a race between the Demon and the Exorcist, a drag race, yeah? And then it never happened. Except it did.
Yeah, you see, Dodge said we couldn't drag race it on the street, but they didn't say anything about airfields. So after we'd finished at our track, we found one of those.
Now, I bowed out of this like I said I would, because the Mustang in the drag racing environment's never going to win. And it became a two-horse race between Sir Crash-a-Lot and the Onanist, OK? But we have a problem. See, we only have time left in the show, realistically, for one more thing. We've got the guest segment. And this week, I should tell you, it's between Howard from the Halifax advert and Adrian Childs to find the fastest person you don't really hear from much anymore. We'll have a vote, I think. Who here would like to see the celebrity segment? One over there. And who'd like to see the drag race?
Does that mean they're not coming on then?
Very much so. Very much so, James. So here it is then, the race between good and evil.
Right, here we go, viewers. It's either salvation or a world plunged into eternal darkness.
OK, this is it. The race between good and evil. Are we ready, gentlemen? We ready?
No.
Go. What's happening?
I've got a couple of things to do before we start.
You think you can't just drag race this now?
Well, you've got to do it properly. This is a proper drag racing car.
What is he doing?
This is what you get when you buy a Demon. Costs you an extra $1, and you get this crate. Oh, it's like a picnic hamper for men. Then, underneath and to either side, I've got boxes with a new ECU. I've got everything I need.
ECU?
Yeah. Look at that!
He's got this enormous crate and some bags and tins full of tools with 2 space savers and...
Space Saver wheels?
Hang on. Right, so that's it. Good.
Yep, now I've got to do the ECU. Which goes in here, I believe. I have to take that out, I think.
She's now got a different ECU, just telling the engine to be powerful.
Right. Why didn't they just put that one in from the start?
So this all goes back in here with my new switch gear in.
It's 1 hour and 7 minutes.
Actually, you're right, it is. It's over an hour now. It's hot.
There we go.
Finally, the rebuild of the Demon was complete. And it was time for the drivers to warm their tyres. In 3, 2, 1, burn out!
All right, let's do some tyre smoke. Yeah. Done it.
Right,
Love a
your tyres
goal.
are warm. Are you now ready?
What?
So are you ready to come to the start line?
No!
What do you mean, no?
No, that was just a celebratory burnout.
Oh, geez, he's got out.
I've done all the building work, now I've got to set the car up.
What?
I've got to get in the right modes. There's stuff to do, mate.
Oh, I've had enough. I'm sorry, I've had enough. Bye.
We're never going to do this.
So I need to go into drag. Drag mode activating. Excellent. Drag transmission, drag traction, power. So power needs to go up to 840. We are now in high octane.
I've never known anything like it.
With our starter on his way back to London, the traffic lights were brought in, and finally, we were ready to go.
Can we finally race?
I'm gonna bust your ass, evil boy. Oh, yes.
What are you going to do with it now? Because I've seen the film and I wouldn't do it. Three.
Do this.
2, 1, go.
Good start. First position. Does that have ski tires? I don't think so.
Keep going.
Ha ha. Done it.
Evil wins. Evil wins. Yes! Victory for the demon. Thank you. Aha! Because I won.
You won.
Because
you
I
did
won.
win.
Yes,
Well
I
done.
did.
You
You noticed that?
Yes, I noticed
that I
you
won.
Yes.
At the end of the race, if you saw, my car was in front of your car, which means I won.
Can I just point out that first you had to spend half a day rebuilding half your car, and then you had to run it on fuel that you can't buy from a normal petrol station.
Oh, wait a minute. Your excrement runs on that clever fuel all the time.
I was sort of banking on you not knowing that.
Yes, well,
Gentlemen,
I do know it.
Gentlemen, I think we have to agree that the Mustang is the only car here that ticks all the muscle car boxes. It's cheap, it's powerful, it runs on fuel you can buy, and you can have it with the steering wheel on the correct side.
You don't get it, do you? You just don't get it. A muscle car is supposed to have 1,000 horsepower, be undrivable, and have a stupid name.
It's called Ready to Rock. That is a stupid name. Listen, Hammond, not only are you the fiscal brain of this operation, you're also the resident muscle car enthusiast, yes? So, and I know the answer to this because you told me on the plane on the way home, of the three cars, which would you actually buy?
Buy.
Buy.
With my own money.
Yes.
Buy.
Yes.
Myself.
Yes.
It's a Mustang.
There you go, the Mustang. And so on that terrible disappointment for you...
Snowflakes.
It's time to end. Now, next week, it is a Grand Tour special, where we attempt to become the first ever television show in the history of television to go to Colombia and not use the C word. See you then. Goodbye.
Right, I have done it, but I'm missing one gold, and I have to do it. I have to do it. Yep, I've got to do it again. So, yeah, really cool first episode. A few like random cuts in the cutscenes. It's like, let's go to the main city centre, and then cuts to us coming back from the city centre. Anyway, there's a few things like that, but generally it's a lot of fun. Again, for the price,
Cadillac's old
you can't go wrong.
Avenue.
Let's give this another go. 38 seconds, that should be long enough, I hope. Should
Concentrate,
be.
look through the bend. This is quite a complicated one.
Oh, yeah, slight loss of paint there. I'm determined to get all golds. God. So this first lap is for some reason like really, oh my god. It's just really hard, this first lap. I don't know why though. No idea why the first lap is so much more difficult. Can I do it? Done it. Yes.
After his run,
There we go.
James couldn't...
Right, just to confirm, I have all the golds from episode 1. They are releasing episode 2 next week with the game and a release on Prime as well. Very excited. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It's been a long one, and bye-bye.